Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Scientists returning from Marvel. Su Yan travels back to Earth from Marvel World, integrating all Marvel technologies into his own system. Others rely on the system to be impressive, while I am even more impressive. I decomposed the system. I am just a system myself. All the technology of Marvel World is for my use. The birth of the greatest scientist. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. 1 Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Magic City. The hot sun scorches the earth, and the bustling streets are bustling with people constantly coming and going. Pop. Suddenly, a purple lightning flashed through the sky. Many people were attracted by this purple lightning, but they didn't pay too much attention and continued their hurried behavior. And in a pitch-black and damp alley, a young man dressed in a regular suit and covered in messy water stains slowly walked out of the alley. Contrary to his disheveled appearance, the young man exuded an air of long-term dominance, with a face and gaze that remained calm and confident all year round, now becoming particularly gentle and comfortable. He looked around with a burst of tears in his eyes and took a deep breath. I'm really back. Su Yan. Earthlings. However, he is an authentic traveler. He previously traveled to the Marvel world and used the invincible technology system to rise from an ordinary researcher in the Marvel universe, leaping to become the strongest superhero on Earth. In Marvel, he developed the Devil Fruit Steel Warsuit and also developed the Green Giant Serum that scared countless supervillains and taught ninjutsu. After easily dominating the entire Earth, he headed towards the universe. In the universe, he opened the path to the pinnacle of fantasy, and with an extremely powerful elevation, he easily became a supreme existence comparable to the Court of Life in less than 500 years. Of course, this is not truly invincible yet. He is truly invincible because he has obtained the power of a transcendent from the cosmic membrane. The power of the transcendent shattered his system, and everything in the system was obtained by him. The power of transcendence, system, and the combination of the two is all fused together. Su Yan is superior to the Court of Life in one fell swoop, and the entire Marvel universe is invincible. Even if it's OAA, it's only up to negotiating terms with him. This, returning to his original universe, is the result of Su Yan's discussion with OAA. As long as Su Yan is willing to sacrifice all the energy on his body as a sacrifice, he can activate OAA's full strength and send him back to the main universe. The Earth is the main universe. The Marvel universe, as well as any other universe, is a parallel projection of the main universe. Su Yan agreed. Without hesitation, he chose to abandon the powerful power of the Marvel universe in exchange for the opportunity to return to the main universe. After all, in these 500 years, he has already killed all the enemies he should have killed, and all the women he should have tasted the taste, which is comparable to the ability of OAA. He can do anything, do whatever he wants, ignore all constraints, and freely enjoy his own invincible life. Now he is tired of fighting and killing, living an endless lonely life, and only wants to quietly return to the main universe, when his salted fish. Of course, Su Yan didn't take everything with him. His consciousness transcends the cosmic membrane, representing that all the technological information and knowledge obtained through the system in his mind can be preserved and put into use in the main universe. So Su Yan left Marvel Universe and returned to Earth. Is it still the 24th today? Su Yan glanced at the time on his phone and said, "It seems like I've been in Marvel World for 500 years, but on the main universe Earth, only 5 hours have passed. Sob lying in the alley for 5 hours, no wonder this smell has become stronger on me." In Marvel, he lived for 500 years, invincible with lightning and sparks all the way. Almost every scene is still vivid in his memory. But in reality, he was like having a dream for 500 years. If it weren't for the countless dreamy technologies from Marvel Universe in his mind, He would have thought he had really had a dream. A person's night. My heart. Where should I put it? At this moment, Su Yan's phone rang. He took out a Xiaomi phone with a broken screen and saw the caller ID on it. Vampire. A cold smile appeared at the corner of Su Yan's mouth. Although he had been away for 500 years, he suddenly remembered his experiences in this world. Here, Su Yan is just a small IT programmer, earning 7 or 8,000 yuan a day, which belongs to the lower class of the people in the magic world. He works overtime with dark circles under his eyes until late at night, living a life of being drained of bone marrow and blood by vampire bosses. Su Yan. As soon as I answered the phone, the vampire boss's roaring voice came from the other end. Do you know how many times I've called you? Don't you want to quit? If you don't want to, get out of here early. If you don't want to, there are plenty of people willing to do it. Faced with a fierce scolding from the vampire boss, Xia Yan's strong mood allowed him to remain calm and respond calmly, ergo, don't get excited. You're right, I won't do it. As for your program, please complete it yourself. What do you call me? The voice of the vampire boss suddenly increased by 20 decibels. Talking to a dog, repeating it a second time is not interesting. Don't worry, you will soon crawl at my feet and beg me to spare your life. Goodbye. After speaking, Su Yan hung up the phone without waiting for the vampire boss to roar again. Su Yan. Good. 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 He's really showing off, isn't he? How dare he hang up on my phone? The vampire boss was so angry that he smashed his phone and said, I make it impossible for you to survive in the IT industry of Magic City in the future. I'm crawling at your feet begging for mercy. I want you to kneel in front of me, crying and begging me. Leaving the alley, Su Yan walked according to his memory of where his home was. Along the way, he saw many familiar environments. These environments he had visited in Marvel World to commemorate, but later due to the hatred war with the Red Giant, this place was completely destroyed, and he could no longer see them. Now that he is back here again, Su Yan feels a lot in his heart. Returning to the rental house, Su Yan took a shower and felt comfortable all over. Invincible for so long, it's time to enjoy life and enjoy it. But even salted fish requires some capital. If Stark found out that I couldn't even afford a $100,000 meal now, he would probably mock me for nothing. Chapter 2. The Perfect Bodyguard. 2 more Sikhs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yan smiled. In the Marvel world, Iron Man Stark Tony is his good friend. He also learned about the technology of steel suits through Stark, and integrated devil fruit to create the devil fruit suit. This technological achievement shone brilliantly in the war, making countless supervillains tremble with fear, to the extent that they dared not confront Su Yan later on. This shows the strength of this technology. According to the knowledge in Su Yan's mind, the devil fruit war suit can be fully realized on Earth, but the prerequisite is that sufficient funds are needed for raw material procurement and research and development. And as he said, even if Su Yan wants to live his life well on Earth, he still needs some capital, right? If you want capital, the first goal is to first create my good assistant, Xiao He. Su Yan's gaze flickered. Xiao He, there is a very loud nickname. Artificial Intelligence, Jarvis. This Jarvis, obviously burned by Su Yan from Stark's side, has all the functions. At first it was just a relatively capable artificial intelligence, but as Su Yan's strength continued to grow, he constantly added some new functions to it, even giving it a physical form. It can be said that in the Marvel Universe, Xiao He is the oldest friend who has followed Su Yan for a whole 500 years, serving him and helping him a lot. Now returning to the main universe, Su Yan naturally needs to immediately recall his old friends and lay bricks and tiles for his future path. Bang bang. Su Yan, I know you're inside, don't hide. Hurry up and pay the rent. At this moment, the door of the rental room was knocked on, and a pleasant female voice came from outside the door. Upon hearing this, Su Yan's mind immediately conjured up a beautiful and delicate face, as well as a hot and devilish curvy figure, and the deep and bottomless gap. His landlord, Yin Ningdi, is a typical renter who is about the same age as him, but has become a renter early on due to the inheritance left by his parents. She only collects rent every day but also has fun. However, unlike the ordinary landlady with a loud voice, hair stuck, and a plump body, Yin Ningdi is the dream lover in the entire rental apartment building, regardless of whether she is single or married. Now, upon hearing her voice, perhaps due to being an orphan since childhood, Su Yan inexplicably felt particularly friendly. "Here we go." Su Yan wiped his body, put on his pajamas, and opened the door. What caught the eye was a delicate and beautiful face. This beauty, even if brought to Marvel Universe, can still beat many young characters. Today's Yin Ningdi is wearing a white T-dot shirt, but through that amazing curve, one can roughly guess how terrifying her true talent is. The blue jeans seem to be unable to bear the weight behind her, fitting tightly and also supporting a stunning curve. Perfect. Su Yan not only sighed inwardly. He can at least be considered a big shot who has seen countless beautiful women and traveled to Wushan with them. But he also has to admire Yin Ningdi's perfect figure, and jeans are such a thing, it's really hard to say. "The landlady is here." Su Yan smiled and said. "Are you still idle and playful with a smiling face?" Yin Ningdi rolled her big white eyes, stretched out her scallion white jade hand, her beautiful cheeks bulging, and a pair of watery big eyes staring at Su Yan. 3 months of rent, it's been dragging on for so long, should I give it, isn't it? This. When it came to money, Su Yan remembered that he was now penniless. In theory, he is an orphan, without parents to support him, and without a girlfriend. The whole family is not hungry, so he should have saved up a lot of money. But you should know that this is the Magic City, and prices are very expensive. Rent already accounts for half of Su Yan's salary. In addition, the company has repeatedly deducted his salary in bonus, to the point where he is even in a difficult situation to eat, let alone rent. Now that he has just returned from Marvel Universe and hasn't had a chance to show his skills yet, where would he have the opportunity to make money? "Renter, please grant me 3 days grace. I will definitely submit it in 3 days." Su Yan said with a red face. As long as he creates Xiaohe, with Xiaohe's powerful internet intrusion ability, is it not a matter of sprinkling the rent for 3 months? Of course, if Su Yan comes back now and wants to be a salted fish, he cannot do anything that violates the law and discipline. However, even so, with artificial intelligence in place, making some money is not a trivial matter. Just the thought of an invincible figure in the grand Marvel Universe who can be compared to OAA, omnipotent, and towering, being stumped by rent. If Tony Stark, Captain, and Black Widow were to know about this, they would probably be laughing uncontrollably. 3 days, 3 days, you have 3 more days. How many 3 days have you had? Yin Ningdi pouted and said with a displeased expression, "Su Yan, I know you're not doing well. You were a tenant who moved in when my mother was here, but I've already made you owe 3 months. There must be a deadline, right?" Although Yin Ningdi has a hot temper, she still has a good personality and is particularly kind. "Madam Bao, don't worry, I guarantee with my personality, Su Yan, that I will pay in full within 3 days this time. Otherwise, you don't need to rush. I will move out on my own." Su Yan said seriously. "Joking, if you're an invincible and powerful person who can't even raise the rent in 3 days, why don't you hit them all?" "Okay, 3 days, it's agreed." Yin Ningdi said seriously. At this moment, a mobile phone rang and Yin Ningdi took out her phone from her pocket, but just as she was about to connect, the screen suddenly went black. No matter how Yin Ningdi presses, beats, or shakes, the screen won't light up. This damn broken phone. Yin Ningdi's explosive temper erupted on the spot, stomping her feet and slapping her fiercely. If it weren't for a trace of rationality, she might have smashed her phone on the spot. "Excuse me, what's wrong with my phone?" Su Yan asked. "This broken phone breaks down every now and then. It has been repaired at an Apple repair shop, but it still looks like this ghost." Yin Ningdi resentfully complained. "It's just that my phone can't be turned on. It's a small problem, can I help you?" Su Yan smiled and said. "Can you repair your phone?" Yin Ningdi unexpectedly glanced at Su Yan. "I understand a little bit." Su Yan gave a mysterious smile. "Are you joking? Is Marvel Black Technology boasting to you? If he can't even manage a single Apple phone, he can commit suicide on the spot." Chapter 3. Is too outdated. 3 more seeking flower collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, then I'll trouble you. It can be seen that although Yin Ningdi talks about a broken phone, she is still unwilling to change it easily. Even though she is already very wealthy and has several houses to rent, her frugal habit has been formed in her personality, making it difficult for her to spend money freely. "Come in." Su Yan took Yin Ningdi's phone, placed it on the table, and then began rummaging through boxes and cabinets, searching for the repair tool he had bought online a long time ago. After all, he is a salaried worker and has a heavy workload when repairing his phone. I heard online that he has no problem repairing it himself, so he specifically went to Taobao to buy a set of tools for repairing his phone. But the final result was obvious. After being repaired by him, the phone never turned on again. Even the owner of the repair shop praised him for his superb craftsmanship. "Su Yan, how do I feel like you've changed from before?" Yin Ningdi looked around the room and said. "A different person." Su Yan didn't lift his head and continued to search. "Yeah. You used to be so timid. When you saw me, you would lower your head and take a detour. Just say a few words to you, and your face would turn red." Yin Ningdi covered her mouth and chuckled. "Ha, it was really a bad time back then." Su Yan chuckled softly. At that time, he was just an ordinary employee, working overtime every day and being squeezed by his boss, unable to even lift his head. The meager salary and humble social status created a feeling of inferiority in Su Yan's heart. Naturally, where did he greet his dream lover? But now he is no longer the same as before. 500 years of change, 500 years of dominance and invincibility, the past glory and supreme glory, all make Su Yan's every move full of confidence. Found it. With a complete set of mobile phone repair tools, Su Yan immediately fell to his desk and began to operate step by step. As an outsider, Yin Ningdi was also curious about how much Su Yan's maintenance ability weighed, so she leaned over to watch. However, it was this sight that made her involuntarily show a hint of surprise. "Su Yan, your movements are so fast. It's much smoother than the staff at the Apple repair shop. Don't you need to look carefully again where the problem is?" Yin Ningdi exclaimed in surprise. She has witnessed how the Apple repair shop staff fix phones, but compared to Su Yan, it's like taking one day at a time. Whether it's dismantling screws or battery panels, Su Yan's entire process feels like he has rehearsed tens of thousands of times without any sense of obstruction. All his movements are like they are full of rhythm, just looking at them is pleasing to the eye. Moreover, Su Yan hardly stopped feeling sad throughout the entire process, as if he suddenly found the pain point without even asking a question. It's just a relatively outdated and simple machine, not a big problem. Su Yan didn't lift his head and said lightly. He used to frequently repair sky carriers in the Marvel Universe, and later even personally repaired the core of a mechanical planet. That thing is truly called advanced, complex. Any problem with a part the size of a hair is likely to cause the entire process to be scrapped. Just an Apple phone. In his eyes, it naturally means being backward. A backward machine. This is the latest Apple phone, I've only bought it for less than half a year. Yin Ningdi muttered. Su Yen smiled dumbfounded. He actually forgot, how can technology on Earth compare to technology in the Marvel Universe? Alright. Quickly, Su Yen reinstalled the screws and handed a complete and flawless Apple phone back to Yin Ningdi. Yin Ningdi, half believing and half doubting, pressed the power button to turn on the device. As expected, the phone turned on directly. Wow! That's really great. Su Yen, you really know how to fix your phone. Yin Ningdi's beautiful eyes were full of surprise. This phone has been dropped by you about 19 times, and the internal electrical board has had poor contact. It's not a big problem. Su Yen wrote lightly. Do you even know how many times my phone has been dropped? Speaking unintentionally, the listener was interested, and Yin Ningdi exclaimed in surprise. This is the most basic eye power for a researcher. If I don't even have this eye power, how can I get by? Su Yen spoke shamelessly. Just kidding, he is a transcendent existence who relies on technology to prove his understanding of technology. When he has the strongest ability to understand technology, he can even separate the power of the transcendent from the cosmic membrane for his own use. Apple phone. Isn't that sprinkling water? Su Yen, you're so amazing. Can I ask you for another small favor? Yin Ningdi lovingly stuck out her tongue. Small idea, what else needs to be repaired? Su Yen took over everything. I have a broken laptop at home, which has been around for 2 years. I took it to someone to fix, and they said that the motherboard was broken and needed to be replaced. The total cost of repairing it was over 1,000 yuan. The laptop was only bought for over 4,000 yuan, and it has been used for so many years, so you think it's not worth it, so you didn't fix it. You'd rather scrap it, right? Su Yen took over the conversation and said. Yin Ningdi blushed and nodded. Renter, at least you have several houses to rent from, not just a few, but a few. Can't you bear to pay so much money? Su Yen joked angrily. I'm not being frugal. My mom said, no matter how rich you are, you can't spend money recklessly. Yin Ningdi spoke with righteous words. Okay. Then go get your notebook and I'll help you take a look. If it can be repaired, I'll try my best to handle it. Su Yen spread his hand and said. Repair is built on the basis that the hardware is not damaged. If the parts are damaged or missing, even the most advanced repair skills are useless. You come home with me, so we don't have to run away from each other. Yin Ningdi said directly. Going home. Su Yen raised his eyebrows and said with suspicion. Why, dare not? Yin Ningdi gave a playful smile. Who said I dare not? Go, go. Su Yen laughed angrily. What kind of person are you? Although the scenery is no longer beautiful now, it's not like being challenged by a little girl. And the woman is so carefree, can he still be a big man? So Su Yen followed Yin Ningdi to her house. Along the way, I met many people renting out houses, especially those men. As soon as I saw Yin Ningdi walking with a boy and even laughing, my eyes turned red. Although they didn't say anything, Su Yen could clearly hear waves of heartbreak quietly coming. Sister, you're back. As soon as I entered the door, a sweet voice came through. On the sofa, there was a girl with a ponytail tied in her hair, holding a mobile phone and engaged in intense combat. Chapter 4. Starting to create artificial intelligence. For more requirements. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sister. Su Yen was somewhat surprised. He has been living here for 2 years and doesn't even know that Yin Ningdi has a younger sister. And even though he only saw a silhouette, he could clearly tell that this sister must be a beautiful woman. Xiao Wu. How long have I been out? Look at how you've caused chaos in your home again. If this continues, I will have to send you back to school. Yin Ningdi angrily crossed her waist and said. I said, sister, it's just a little messy. Look at you making such a fuss. Yi Ningwu turned her head, and Su Yan saw the stunning face that was 7 points similar to Yi Ningdi at a glance. However, in comparison, Yi Ningdance is younger and more full of youthful vitality. If Yi Ningdai is a mature imperial sister with spicy energy all over her body, then Yi Ningdance is a typical neighbor sister, a pure classmate of the school flower. Sister, who is he? Yi Ningwu turned her head for the first time and directly locked onto Su Yan. Her eyebrows suddenly rose, like the expression of Erha, vigilantly scrutinizing Su Yan. Su Yan is a tenant of our house, and he had already moved in when his mother was here. His level of repair is good. I asked him to help us take a look at that scrapped laptop. Yi Ningdi introduced. Sister, you're too frugal too. And that laptop has been scrapped for 2 years. I drank a cup of cola and even the repairman said it was useless. Would it be useful for you to come find him? Yi Ning danced and pouted. How dare you say so? Yi Ningdi rolled her eyes and took out her elder sister's motherly posture. What are you still doing in a daze? Hurry up and pour a glass of water for the guests. Oh. Yi Ningwu gave Su Yan a reluctant glare before leaving the sofa. Su Yan shook his head helplessly. Woman, I checked and it's true that some parts of the motherboard are burnt out, causing it to not turn on. After quickly disassembling and inspecting it, Su Yan came to the conclusion, however, the key parts of the motherboard were not damaged. It is estimated that the repair shop intentionally exaggerated and wanted you to buy a new motherboard from him, so he said it cannot be repaired. What do you mean? Can it be repaired? Yi Ningdi's beautiful eyes lit up. If it were someone else, it wouldn't work. After all, most maintenance personnel only know the surface layer and don't understand the principle of the motherboard. I happen to have a little understanding. For me, this is a small problem. Su Yan said. That's great, Su Yan, come on, drink water. Upon hearing these words, Yi Ningdi smiled and her eyes narrowed like crescent moon. Cut, isn't that just repairing a broken notebook? Look at how you look. Yi Ningwu, holding her phone on the side and still playing King of Glory, rolled her big eyes. You're amazing, come fix it. Yi Ningdi gave her sister a glare. Quickly, Su Yan used extremely skilled techniques and extremely smooth operations to handle the motherboard of the notebook. Su Yan, you're fixing your notebook like you're creating an artwork, how smooth your movements are. Yi Ningdi couldn't help but marvel. Yi Ningwu has also made some changes to Su Yan at this moment. Su Yan's maintenance is indeed smooth, without any sense of obstruction. It is even more accurate than a robot. The maintenance that was originally particularly complex and boring in their eyes was inexplicably watched throughout the entire process. And the repair, which should have taken a long time, was completely solved by Su Yan in just 10 minutes. Practice makes perfect. Okay, it's done. Su Yan pressed the power button, and with the sound of the whirring fan rotating, the screen of the laptop, which had been away for 2 years, lit up again. Wow, Su Yan, your repair skills are really impressive. You can even open a repair shop. Yi Ningdi couldn't help but praise. I've even repaired a spaceship. What's this? Su Yan chuckled proudly. Return the spacecraft. Yi Ningwu turned a blind eye to Su Yan's exaggerated metaphor. Little did they know that Su Yan had actually repaired a spaceship, and he was still the most amazing kind. Su Yan, you're so amazing. If any of our appliances break down in the future, can you help us fix them? Yi Ningdi's big eyes flickered as she looked at Su Yan, with a hint of coquettishness in it. Su Yan is also very speechless. This is no longer frugality, but being stingy to a certain extent. But there's no other way. Who would let the person who requests him, the longer one with a sweet voice, or their own landlord? Help, just help. Okay, no problem. Su Yan nodded and stood up. Madam Bao, then I'll leave first. Well, good. Su Yan left, and Yi Ningdi went back and picked up her notebook to operate it back and forth. Wow, how come you feel like you're even faster than before when you open web pages? Su Yan really can't tell that he has such amazing repair skills. Sister, do you have his WeChat account? Yi Ningwu suddenly spoke up beside her and asked. Yeah, what's wrong? Yi Ningdi glanced at her sister. It's nothing, just add him on WeChat. If any electrical appliances break down in the future, let him help repair them. Yi Ningwu said indifferently, and sister, haven't you noticed? His temperament seems different from ordinary people. I always feel like he's particularly mysterious. The temperament is different from before, but there's nothing mysterious about it, just a tenant. Yi Ningdi's focus is still on her laptop, and she hasn't noticed that a hint of interest has already surged deep in Yi Ningwu's eyes. She has become a bit interested in Su Yan, who has a mysterious temperament. Of course, Su Yan didn't know that her unintentional display of a superior demeanor caught the attention of a little girl. At this moment, he has just returned to the rental room and is sitting in front of the computer. Looking at this second-hand laptop that was cheap from a colleague a year ago, Su Yan's heart was filled with excitement and his gaze was burning. Xiaohei, old friends are meeting again. The first thing he needs to do is to resurrect this old friend who has been with him the longest and most capable in the core universe. With Xiaohei, he can handle many things in the future with ease, at least not to mention anything else. In terms of obtaining a certain amount of money, he can easily handle it. Su Yan opens the software programming interface. All the coding information about Xiaohei suddenly came to mind. His hands moved. Like a butterfly dancing, Su Yan's hand speed is very fast, very fast. The encoding that is fast enough to reach the screen is being presented at a speed of tens of times per second. If someone is watching from the side at this moment, they may not be as fast as Su Yan's typing speed. Chapter 5. Super Artificial Intelligence comes out. 5 more requests. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Even if the world's top programming expert came, he would be shocked and stunned on the spot, kneeling down to Su Yan. You should know that writing programs is a tedious and extremely headache-inducing job. The fast-paced scenes in movies and TV dramas are all blindly created. In reality, you have to write word for word, sentence for sentence, without even typing, and carefully monitor. If one letter goes wrong, the entire program is likely to have problems. And you also have to think while coding. If your brain just doesn't work, the feeling of stagnation will drive you crazy. But for Su Yan, he is already familiar with all the coding of Xiaohei's programs. Even if he closes his eyes, he will not make mistakes. About 4 hours later, Su Yan finally managed to handle the first part. But to completely make Xiaohei appear, he still has 3 more parts to complete. In other words, he will have to spend at least 12 more hours in front of the computer. But this speed is already amazing enough. After all, what he is creating is not an ordinary program, but the first truly artificial intelligence in the core universe. I still need a database. I need to download some data from the internet. Artificial intelligence requires a database as the starting point, which is the beginning of AI's understanding of the world. If it was put in Marvel Universe at that time, Su Yan might need not only a database, but the whole internet. However, after the subsequent technological change, Su Yan has mastered the ability to let AI learn independently, so he doesn't need to waste more energy. As long as he creates a prototype, Xiaohei will automatically take in information in self-learning on the internet day and night. However, the download speed is too slow now. We must break through the broadband speed limit. Since downloading something, internet speed is inevitably the biggest limitation. Su Yan's gaze flickered as he withdrew from the coding interface and directly entered hacker mode. That's right, he needs to invade the telecom backend through the network, modify port data, and break through the limitations of the operator's network speed to reach the highest speed currently supported by the telecom internal. About 10 minutes later, The ancient firewall. Such security measures are too weak. In just 10 minutes, Su Yan easily bypassed the firewall in the telecommunications backend and successfully infiltrated the telecommunications system. For modern hackers, the telecommunications firewall is the world's top tier, but for Su Yan, who has mastered the invincible future technology information, this so-called top-tier firewall is nothing but a layer of tofu in his eyes and is simply unbeatable. As long as he is willing, telecom is his backyard. He can come and leave whenever he wants, no one can detect him, and no one can catch him. Get it done. After adjusting the speed to a limit that would not be detected by telecommunications, Su Yan calmly withdrew without anyone noticing the entire process. The download speed is 156 megabytes, not bad. This network speed is clearly not the limit speed of fiber optics. Based on his knowledge, fiber optics can easily reach 10 terabytes per second. But if the bandwidth occupied is too exaggerated, it will definitely be discovered by telecommunications in the first place. He has now migrated several enterprise-level fiber optic speeds to his own place, which is still in the normal stage. If it goes too far, it will only have the opposite effect. Fortunately, my 1 terabyte hard drive is quite sturdy, but the database needs to occupy at least 900 gigabytes. I have carefully hidden the files for so long. Su Yan feels a bit sore. There are at least 700 gigabytes of educational movies in the 1 terabyte external hard drive. This is a masterpiece that he has carefully selected for many years. Forget it, I'll go find all those movies after Xiaohe comes out. Su Yan gritted his teeth and decisively began downloading the database. While downloading the database, he began to write continuously with a crackling sound. That night, Su Yan didn't sleep. He returned from 10.30 in the morning and started writing Little Black around 11 o'clock, fighting until dawn the next day. During this period, he used the restroom twice, ate a bucket of instant noodles, drank a pot of water, and spent the whole time in front of the computer, staring intently at the computer screen, creating the world's first miracle with both hands. Finally, pressing the last enter button, Su Yan jumped straight out of the chair and stretched lazily. Finally accomplished. Su Yan looked at a black and white progress bar on the computer, which had just reached 1%. This is the final molding stage of the program. As long as the progress bar reaches 100%, Xiaohe will be completely formed. It's been a long time since I was so passionate, but the feeling of weakening is really uncomfortable. It's only been a day without sleep, and I'm already exhausted. When you have money in the future, go collect super soldier serum, and even if you don't sleep for a week, it will be fine. The dog's life is still at stake now, hurry up and go to bed. Su Yan's dark circles under his eyes were almost on par with Panda's. As he lay on the bed and almost touched the pillow, snoring was already heard. The continuous state of intense work has caused Su Yan to fall into extreme fatigue. Now he is just an ordinary human, and due to long-term work, his body is sub-healthy. He is able to hold on until now, thanks to his breath and excitement. Now that everything has been accomplished and the excitement has passed, it is natural that infinite fatigue swept over him like a tide, instantly overwhelming him. Therefore, Su Yan slept from dawn to 8 o'clock the next morning. Su Yan finally woke up leisurely. Fortunately, his spirit has recovered a lot, and his panda eyes have also disappeared a lot. Master, you're awake. Suddenly, a magnetic and somewhat mechanical male voice emanated from the computer. Su Yan suddenly woke up and immediately came to the computer. The progress bar on it had already finished, and a huge smiling expression was floating on the computer screen. The first artificial intelligence in the core universe was officially born in his hands. Haha. Xiaohe, we meet again. Su Yan was extremely happy. Master, thank you for creating me. Thank you also for giving me your name, Xiaohe. I really like this name. On the computer screen, an emoji with a warm smile appeared. Xiaohe, don't call me master in the future, just call me sir. This title sounds pleasant to me. Okay, sir. Upon hearing this voice and this friendly title again, Su Yan's face showed a satisfied smile. Suddenly. Bang bang. Su Yan. A familiar voice from Qingyue came from outside the door. Yi Ning's Dance. Chapter 6. The Power of Little Black. 6. Seeking more flowers to harvest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the entrance of the rental house, Yi Ningwu is knocking. Behind her, there was also a cute and adorable student girl with long black hair, round framed glasses, and a short skirt. Under the skirt, there were slender legs that resembled those of characters in comics. She wore white socks on her legs and looked cute and adorable. The cute girl pushed her round framed eyes, her expression somewhat reserved. Xiao Wu, is your friend really okay? I don't think it's a hardware issue, it's a poisoning. How about we go find a professional repairman? If the information files inside are lost, what should I do? Cute girl Nua said. Xiaoyi, don't worry, there's no problem. I've seen this guy's repair skills before, not particularly impressive, but they're still okay. Yi Ningwu said casually, and don't believe those professional repair shops, they're just a bunch of people who specialize in making money. Last time, I couldn't turn on my laptop. When I went there, he directly helped me reinstall the system, and as a result, I lost a lot of information. So if you don't want to lose those information files, just listen to me, I promise there's no problem. The cute girl was half convinced, but out of trust in her best friend, she finally nodded and decided to trust Yi Ningwu. Yi Ningwu actually has no confidence in her heart. Although she had seen Su Yan's repair skills with her own eyes, they were indeed superb, but they were hardware. If it were software, it would be completely different fields. If she really can't fix it, wouldn't she be in a big embarrassing situation? Why haven't you opened the door yet? Yi Ningwu was about to knock again when the door opened. What can I do for you? Su Yan's figure appeared behind the door, just as the sun was rising and shining down from behind, making him feel as if he was bathed in the light. Yi Ningwu and cute girl were stunned at the sight. Su Yan, who has returned, already has a domineering and lazy temperament, and a fierce and mysterious temperament. Now, highlighted by the light, her charm is even more amazing. This kind of leadership temperament that does not belong to facial features, but emanates from the inside out, is enough to make countless women obsessed and crazy. Yi Ningwu and cute girl Xiaoyi are no exception. Oh. There's another person I don't know. Hello, my name is Su Yan. Su Yan saw the cute girl Xiaoyi, smiled slightly, and kindly extended his hand. Xiaoyi's heart trembled, and she quickly reached out her hand to gently shake with Su Yan. We're here to see you fix your computer. Yi Ningwu finally came to her senses and realized her mistake. Her small face blushed slightly and she immediately increased her volume to conceal her embarrassment. Oh, okay, come on in. Su Yan nodded and turned to enter the room. At this moment, the cute girl Xiaoyi finally regained her strength, but her heart was still beating incessantly. The scene of Su Yan shaking hands with her just now lingered in her mind, and she couldn't shake it off. Even felt her palms slightly hot. The two entered Su Yan's rented cottage. Whose computer is having a problem? Su Yan took out the repair tool and asked. I. The cute girl shyly took out a notebook wrapped in a pink shell from her bag and timidly handed it to Su Yan. Let me take a look. Su Yan took the notebook and as soon as he opened it, he got stuck in a picture and couldn't move at all. I restarted it again, it's still the same as before. As long as it doesn't take 10 seconds after booting up, it will definitely get stuck. The computer is poisoned. Su Yan came to the conclusion. I have very important information in my notebook. Can it be repaired without reinstalling the system? Xiaoyi quickly asked. Yi Ningguo is also a bit nervous. Her lifelong fame lies in Su Yan's next sentence. No problem, it's just a piece of cake. As soon as these words were spoken, Xiao Yi's bright big eyes suddenly shone, and Yi Ningguo also breathed a sigh of relief quietly. Xiao He, can we handle it in 10 seconds? Su Yan looked up and said to the computer. Xiao He. Yi Ningguo and Xiao Yi clearly didn't react. They were a bit confused and didn't know who Su Yan was talking to. It was clear that there were only the three of them in the room. About 2 seconds later. Sir, it has been resolved. A somewhat mechanical and magnetic male voice emanated from the pink notebook speaker in Su Yan's hand. Ah! Xiao Yi and Yi Ningguo were startled by Xiao Hei's sudden voice and couldn't help but scream. They stared fixedly at the pink notebook, as if they had seen a ghost. Su Yan, what was that sound just now? Yi Ningguo asked with a somewhat panicked expression. Madam, please don't be afraid. I am your best colleague and assistant. My name is Xiao He, please give me more guidance. Xiao He spoke with a soothing smile, like a gentleman. If Xiao He had a physical presence now, one could even imagine him dressed in butler attire, bowing and bowing to caress his chest. Xiao He. Xiao Yi and Yi Ningguo were both at a loss. Xiao He, it's over. You finished speaking, what am I saying? Su Yan coughed lightly and handed out his notebook. This classmate, your notebook has been repaired. Check if there is any missing information inside. Xiaoyi took the notebook, gently swiped on the touchpad a few times, opened the folder, and when she saw that her important information was not lost or damaged, she suddenly breathed a complete sigh of relief. Su Yan, you're really amazing, thank you. Xiaoyi shyly thanked Su Yan. It's just a small gesture, don't be polite. Su Yan smiled and said, Xiaoyi, now you know I'm not lying to you, right? This guy looks average and his repair skills are pretty good. Here, in less than 10 seconds, I fixed your laptop. If you break it again in the future, come find him, you're welcome. Yi Ningguo didn't treat Su Yan as an outsider and took everything in her favor. Su Yan silently rolled his eyes. These two sisters are really a family, they really don't mind taking advantage. Su Yan, what was that little black just now? Is it alive or dead? Yi Ningguo asked curiously. As Xiao He said, he is my work partner, assistant, and also the artificial intelligence I created. AI plus Xiao Yi and Yi Ningguo couldn't help but show an unexpected expression. They have heard of artificial intelligence, but so far no company has truly developed it, which is still a concept. Even if it exists, it can only be considered an artificial intelligence disability, and cannot truly be called artificial intelligence. Are you questioning in Chapter 7? 7 more seeking flowers to harvest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Now Su Yan is actually telling them that he has created an artificial intelligence, can it not surprise them? You Su Yan, how intelligent is this artificial intelligence? Xiaoyi asked timidly. Because I have just developed it recently and it has not undergone a long enough period of self-learning, there may be a lack of intelligence. However, even so, there is still no problem with all the so-called artificial intelligence systems around the world. Su Yan said lightly. Although Xiaohe has just been born, when Su Yan developed it, he had already incorporated all the previous experiences, making it the most perfect at the current level. Unless Su Yan has the opportunity and funds to develop more advanced technology in the future, then Xiaohe will be able to evolve and become smarter and more cunning than humans by countless times. But even at the current level, with Xiaohe's level of intelligence, it is much more impressive than the artificial intelligence of any company in the world. So powerful. Yi Ningguo looked obviously incredulous. Xiaohe, someone here is questioning your ability. Su Yan smiled and said, can't you refute it properly? Sir, I need you to grant me permission. Within an hour, you can obtain any permission. Su Yen said directly. Good, Ms. Yi Ningwu, Ms. Mo Xiaoyi, please turn your gaze to the TV screen. Xiao He said. The two of them turned their heads in disbelief and looked at the TV. I didn't know when the TV had already been turned on, but as the startup interface quickly jumped, the next second, a photo had already been displayed on the TV. In that photo, it was clearly Yi Ningwu's bathroom selfie. She was draped in a bath towel, her hair wet and messy, holding her phone and taking a charming selfie in front of the mirror. Due to her lack of proficiency in being charming, she pouted like something, causing her expression to become somewhat distorted, becoming a true emoji pack. Ah! Don't look, turn it off quickly. At that time, Yi Ningwu screamed and ran away, her delicate body blocking the TV, her face flushed, and she kept shouting. Ha ha ha. Su Yen couldn't help but laugh at Yi Ningwu's selfie. I didn't expect this exquisitely beautiful goddess, who is regarded as the school flower and the dream lover by everyone in school, to have such a funny side. Mo Xiaoyi couldn't help but burst out laughing. Su Yen. Turn it off quickly. Yi Ningwu blushed with embarrassment. Okay, Xiao He. Su Yen laughed so hard that he almost couldn't catch his breath. He waved his hand and the photo on TV disappeared. You. How did you get this photo of me? Can it be that you went to my house last time and took the opportunity to steal it? Yi Ningwu said angrily. She puffed up her cheeks, although very angry, her angry appearance was very cute. Ms. Yi Ningwu, this matter has nothing to do with Sir. I just hacked into your mobile phone system and selected the photo with the highest number of views from your 3426 selfies, and displayed it. Xiao He still had that gentle and gentlemanly magnetic voice. You hacked into my phone system. My phone is an Apple. Isn't the Apple system supposed to be the safest system in the world? I haven't escaped prison, how did you invade? Yi Ning frowned and said. I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer this question either. You said this mobile phone system is the safest in the world, but in my opinion, it is weak and vulnerable. I don't even need more than half a second of computation to easily invade it. Xiao He said quite innocently. Indeed. In the eyes of others, the safest mobile system in the world, as long as you don't jailbreak, you can't get infected with any virus. But when it comes to Xiao He, the Apple system is no different from junk and is simply vulnerable. How about it? Do you now know how intelligent my artificial intelligence is? Su Yen shrugged and smiled. Su Yen, can it help me retrieve data that was accidentally deleted from my computer? Mo Xiaoyi asked weakly. Of course. Before Su Yen could answer, Xiao He had already taken the initiative to respond to Mo Xiaoyi, causing Su Yen to roll his eyes wide. This guy is still like in Marvel Universe, especially proactive when encountering beautiful girls, and his ability to steal scenes is top-notch. The files you want to recover should be Reserve Copy 42, New Manuscript 2, and First Draft of the Paper. Xiao He said. Wow, how did you know? Surprisingly, you got it all right. Mo Xiaoyi exclaimed in surprise. She deleted a lot of documents, many of which were unsatisfactory and unwanted. But precisely because of this, she accidentally deleted some useful stored documents. But to her surprise, Xiao He was able to directly and accurately state the ones she was about to recover from the vast documents. I came to the conclusion based on the number of times you have browsed and used the deleted manuscript before it was deleted, as well as the frequency of use, combined with an analysis of the manuscript you currently have. We have restored it for you, you can find these 3 documents on your desktop. As soon as Xiao He finished speaking, Mo Xiaoyi lowered her head and immediately saw the 3 documents that appeared out of thin air on the desktop. After opening them one by one, every word was exactly what she needed. Wow! Xiao He, you're so amazing. Mo Xiaoyi couldn't help but get excited. It's my honor, Xiao He, to be of service to you. Xiao He humbly said. Worry. You stole all the limelight. Su Yan's white eyes were almost rolling up to the sky. Su Yan, are you really using artificial intelligence? And Yi Ningwu, who witnessed the whole process beside her, was so surprised that she couldn't speak. Someone's tone can tell pride and pride in their words, they can joke and be humble. If it weren't for Su Yan telling her that Xiao He was an artificial intelligence, she would have thought he was a real person. Chapter 8. Making money. It's just so easy. One update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yeah, it's even more eye-catching than me. Su Yan's angry roast. Mr. taught well. Xiao He humbly replied. Subsequently, Su Yan also showed Xiao He some application scenarios of artificial intelligence in daily life. For example, if Su Yan simply says, I want to watch martial arts movies, Xiao He will automatically turn on the TV and select martial arts movies for playback. If you encounter any advertisements or VIP-related issues during this period, Xiao He will automatically crack them, clear the ads, and create a permanent VIP, allowing you to read whatever you want. Then Su Yan is going to take a shower. Just let him know in advance, and Xiao He will automatically drain the water and adjust the water temperature. After reaching a certain level, just remind Su Yan to enjoy the prepared bath. Of course, these are just some small aspects. At present, Su Yan is still renting out a house, and many appliances are relatively outdated. If a new smart home is installed, the impact of the small black house will be wider. But this is not Su Yan's aspiration. His future is to create a tool that can simulate any dynamics. As long as Xiao He controls this tool, he can easily achieve 90% of things. But before that, he needs to accumulate more capital. Wow! How amazing! After witnessing these scenes with their own eyes, Yi Ningwu and Mo Xiaoyi showed a surprised and shocked expression. Especially Xiao He and Su Yan answered fluently, the tone and pauses between their words were truly breathtaking. Su Yan, can I add your WeChat account? Mo Xiaoyi rubbed her hands together, her face turning red as if she had never done such a thing before. She was so nervous that she couldn't do it on her own, and her expression was particularly flustered. She was at a loss, her eyes dodging everywhere, and her heart pounding incessantly. In the future, if there is a problem with her computer or phone, could you please help me? Being able to make such a shy and introverted cute girl actively ask for WeChat from others, and even from the opposite sex, shows how much charm Su Yan brings to her. Okay, no problem. Su Yan readily agreed and added Mo Xiaoyi's WeChat account. Mo Xiaoyi's beautiful eyes flickered with joy, as if he had obtained a precious treasure. Yi Ningwu on the side seemed to pout in displeasure. Alright, Xiaoyi, aren't you having classes later? Let's go. Yi Ningwu quickly reminded. Su Yan, thank you. I'm from Magic City University of Finance and Economics. If you come to our school in the future, come find me. Mo Xiaoyi smiled sweetly and warmly welcomed her. Okay. Su Yan smiled and agreed. Immediately, Yi Ningwu left with some reluctance from Mo Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi, when did you become such a playboy? This is not your style. As soon as she left Su Yan's rented house, Yi Ningwu said, You are the school belle of our school. Many excellent boys dream of not getting your WeChat. That's great. You even took the initiative to give it to him. Xiao Wu, I think Su Yan is quite good. Mo Xiaoyi bit her lips, feeling lost in thought. Where is he doing? He just knows some repair techniques. What's so amazing about this? Yi Ningwu said with a disdainful expression. But he developed artificial intelligence. Mo Xiaoyi blinked her eyes. That's all a coincidence. Anyway, don't come into contact with him in the future. If you come into contact with him too much, it will harm you. If anything goes wrong in the future, you can leave it to me and I'll help you find him. Don't worry, he can't do anything to me. Yi Ningwu said with great righteousness. Xiao Wu, why do I feel like you treat Su Yan differently from others? As soon as Mo Xiaoyi's words were spoken, Yi Ningwu's face immediately turned red. What's different? I've always treated everyone equally, okay? Alright, stop talking about him. Hurry up and call Didi. We're almost late for class. Yi Ningwu quickly grabbed Mo Xiaoyi's hand and ran out. Renting the house. Sir, according to the instructions you just gave me, I have selected a list of all personnel from across the country who may be suspected of having black forces and whose sources of income are irregular channels. Everyone's working capital in their assets should not be less than 100 million. In front of the computer, Su Yan was eating breakfast while watching the screen display of numerous photos and avatars of people's names. These people, without exception, are all individuals who have been recruited by the small black community from all over the country, possess black influence, engage in invisible black transactions, and have obtained huge wealth from black transactions. And this is currently the most suitable channel for Su Yan to make money. In fact, with Su Yan's technology and Xiao Hei's cooperation, he can completely infiltrate any bank or account of any large enterprise and directly transfer money. However, this involves large amounts of money and wealth, which can easily trigger vigilance and cause big trouble. Once the national police intervene, the degree of trouble in the matter can become uncontrollable. Of course, with Xiao Hei's strength, he won't leave any trace, but for the sake of safety, Su Yan chose some targets that were more suitable for him. Such as these invisible guys. These people's money itself is not visible. Even if it's gone, not to mention calling the police, I dare not even speak loudly. Moreover, taking money from such people, Su Yan has no sense of guilt, and using it is equivalent to practicing justice for the heavens. Arms, drugs, high-interest loans, casinos, smuggling. Xiao Hei, according to this number of people, at least there must be more than 10,000 people, right? Su Yan glanced casually. Sure enough, the most profitable methods are all written in the criminal law. Almost everything that catches the eye is the crime that can be sentenced to severe punishment in criminal law. Specifically, there are 9,251 people, sir. Xiao Hei replied. Among the 1.4 billion people, there are really many scumbags. Su Yan's gaze flickered, and then the corner of his mouth curled. But this way, it's a great blessing for me. Xiao Hei, let's randomly select 20 and each person will plunder 1 million. As the saying goes, when boiling a frog in warm water, never kill the chicken and lay the eggs. In the future, these people's accounts will be Su Yan's vault, where they can withdraw whatever they want and spend whatever they want. Isn't that simple? Okay, sir. Due to the large amount, I have implemented a series of measures to completely wash your money into a legitimate source. You can use it with confidence. Xiao Hei said. Ding. As soon as Xiao Hei finished speaking, Su Yan's phone received a text message prompt sound. He took out the text message, only glanced at it, and a knowing smile suddenly appeared on his face. On October 3rd at 10:15, your online banking income, Union Pay, for card number 8870 was 20 million yuan, with a balance of 20,167.62 yuan. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, P.S., looking for flowers and evaluation tickets. Thank you for your support. Chapter 9. Invitation to Classmates Gathering. 2 more seeking subscriptions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Hei, well done. Su Yan lifted the corner of his mouth, revealing a contented smile. 20 million, for ordinary people, may be a number that is exciting enough to jump 3 times in place, laugh loudly, and be ecstatic. But in the eyes of Su Yan, who had already been invincible, 20 million yuan was just a drop in the ocean, no different from 2 yuan. Where is it worth his excitement? The reason why he showed a happy smile is purely because he is particularly satisfied with the performance of the super artificial intelligence he has created. It's my honor, Xiao He, to serve you, sir. Xiao He responded with a smile. You know how to flatter me. Su Yan smiled and said, first, transfer the rent for these months, including the principal and interest, to the landlady. We need to fulfill our promise. The rest, I should go and be good and carefree. With money, Su Yan naturally fulfilled his promise as soon as possible. As for the rest, he allowed Su Yan to squander it recklessly. In the past, in Marvel World, Su Yan also engaged in the sale of planets, and the exaggerated transaction amount cannot be described in RMB. No matter how much money Su Yan spends in the Marvel World, he always feels like playing private servers. Especially now that he has returned to the main universe, that feeling is even more illusory. After all, he is an Earthling. No matter how impressive Marvel World is, he feels like it's just reaching the top in a parallel universe. And now he has arrived at the formal official uniform, without any strange powers, no mutated powers, nor the exaggerated existence of easily destroying the sky and earth, or pointing fingers to destroy the stars. Purely relying on technological analysis for development and research. In this situation, he unlocked and directly obtained nearly 20 million usage rights, which naturally gave rise to a more realistic feeling, which is completely different from the feeling in the Marvel World. Sir, a call has entered. The caller is Dai Fatty. Are you answering? At this moment, Xiao He said. Dai Fatty. Upon hearing this long-lost name, Su Yan recalled some scenes in his mind. Dai Pengzi is one of his high school close friends. In high school, the purest form of friendship is not about whether you have money, status, background, or value when making friends. As long as you share the same taste, you are good brothers who can skip classes and go online together. But since going their separate ways in college, Su Yan's contact with Dai Fatty has been decreasing. He could also clearly sense that Dai Fatty seemed to have become more and more vulgar, and was no longer the innocent and good brother he was in high school. So much so that after his junior year, until today, he and Dai Fatty have never been in contact again. Answer me now. Su Yan calmly said. Hello, Su Yan. The phone was connected, and Dai Pengzi's cold voice came out, without any warmth or courtesy. It's me, Su Yan replied. I sent you WeChat before, right? This weekend, our high school classmates in our class had a gathering, which was initiated by Xie Xiao. He hopes that all classmates can come. Dai Pengzi said, you happen to be in the Magic City, come over. Maybe if Xie Xiao is happy, he can help you find a better job. Xie Xiao. Upon hearing the name, Su Yan squinted his eyes. Xie Yunfei, who used to be the top student in high school, had a perfect combination of the wealthy and official generations, and had great power even in the demonic world. Although it cannot be said that they were covering the sky with one hand, there is no problem with being domineering. And this name can be said to have a notorious reputation in high school. Su Yan still remembers his deeds of playing with girls and bullying the weak to this day. This kind of upper-class figure suddenly wants to hold a gathering with his classmates and connect with these, ordinary people. Apart from deliberately showing off his achievements in recent years in front of his old classmates, Su Yan really can't find any other reason. Dai Fatty, I remember you used to hate Xie Yunfei a lot, didn't you? Why are you taking Xie Xiao one by one now? Did he give you money? Su Yan took a sip of water and said leisurely. Su Yan, I know you may look down on me now, but I'm sorry, this society is so realistic. Dai Fatty's emotions fluctuated. Do you know how much money I earn a month with Xie Xiao now? 800,000, it's 800,000 yuan a month. This is the salary you may not even get if you don't eat or drink for 10 years. Oh. Is that right? Congratulations. Su Yan smiled. A month of 800,000 yuan, if it were him before he traveled, he would definitely envy and hate, but now. I'm sorry, as long as he is willing, it's not a problem to spend tens of billions in a second. You don't have to be so weird. Dai Pengzi realized that his tone was a bit excited and softened a bit. I heard that Chen Xiaoya will also come to this party. I know you like her, but it's best not to think of her. She is now the heir of a large conglomerate in the Magic City, and her background and status are not inferior to Xia Xiao's. Xia Xiao is willing to bring us classmates this time because of her. I hope you can seize the opportunity. Chen Xiaoya. Upon hearing this name, a beautiful image came to Su Yan's mind. Wearing a white long dress, with a stunning appearance resembling a fairy in the sky, the brilliant scene of looking back and smiling remains unforgettable to this day. Chen Xiaoya was recognized as the most beautiful school flower in high school, and her pursuers were able to rank from the top of the list in the capital. Just Su Yan was a bit surprised. Chen Xiaoya is not only beautiful, but also has such a big background, almost like Xia Yunfei. Okay, since you've said that, how can I deserve Xia Xiao's kind invitation if I don't seize this opportunity well? Su Yan's mouth curved slightly. Isn't it just showing off? Make it seem like no one knows. It's good if you can come. This is one of the few opportunities you have to change your life, seize it. After speaking, Dai Pengzi hung up the phone. Sir, if you want to attend the party, you will need to change into a new formal dress. Do you have any of these plans that you like? Xiao He directly listed over 20 dress-up plans on the computer screen. No, how boring the dress is. If you want to play, you have to play something bigger. Su Yan chuckled softly. He has already imagined how to reminisce with his old classmates during the weekend reunion. Chapter 10. Bye bye bye. 3 more seeking flower collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao He, go help me book a Bugatti Veyron. It's best to only release one limited edition globally. If you don't have enough money, you can withdraw it from those guys' accounts. Su Yan instructed directly. Since he is attending the student union, Su Yan naturally cannot be ashamed to see his long-lost classmates. The Bugatti Veyron is just the first car to start, and it's a bit low-key. After all, for Su Yan, when he was in the Marvel Universe, he used to play with billions of Iron Man battle clothes like fireworks, and the Bugatti Veyron was just a few tens of millions of sports cars. For him, it was just an inconspicuous little toy. Remember to add some money and have them deliver it as soon as possible, don't delay my weekend reunion. By the way, please call me another Didi. I need to go to Henglong Square. Henglong Square, a famous sales cave in the Magic City. You can find stores of famous brands from all over the world here, with tens of thousands and millions of luxury goods everywhere, and it's not uncommon. In other words, as long as you have money, there are no luxury goods that you cannot buy. With the car, Su Yan naturally needs to change his appearance and dress up in a decent outfit. Okay, sir. Xiao He responded with a voice. Soon, Su Yan had a smooth journey and arrived at Henglong Square. He didn't just run in and buy like those tycoons and nouveau riche, but instead chose to customize his clothes with the world's top materials, hire the world's top craftsmen, and tailor them to him without any logo labels, but worth over $1 million. Compared to those so-called world-class brands, private customization is the low-key luxury. Even if there is no logo, just a slight glance at the fabric will reveal its value. In this way, it is completely possible to make a huge difference in impression without making a sound. Not only clothes, but also shoes, belts, and the like. Su Yan chose to customize the entire set of clothing privately. Sir, within about 6 months, you will be able to receive all the customized clothes. The designer respectfully said. Half a year. Time is too long, I can't wait that long. Su Yan glanced at the designer and said indifferently. Sorry sir, we have several customized orders ahead of us, which have already been expedited for you. The designer apologized with a smile. Private customization is like this, as it is handmade and the craftsman has high requirements for the completion of the work, and these customized clothes themselves are valuable items, naturally requiring a little more time. I'll double the price, I want to see the full set of clothes before the weekend. Su Yan said, if you can't do it, I can find someone else. Believe me, at this price, someone will be willing. Upon hearing these words, the designer's heart suddenly surged. Double the price. You should know that Su Yan's clothing is made entirely of world-class materials, with a total of at least 4 million yuan. If doubled, it would be nearly 9 million yuan. No one will struggle with money, especially with so much money. This price is really tempting. But triple, and I can pay the full amount now, with only one requirement. The finished product must be shown to me before the weekend. Su Yan's gaze was sharp, and his once invincible strength once again highlighted. Okay. The designer took a deep breath and said, I have taken on your order. I promise to give you the most perfect explanation before the weekend. The double price is already tempting, 3 times. Even if you work hard, you have to take it. As long as this order is completed, it will be enough to cover the entire year's income. That's good. Su Yan nodded. Immediately, he went to the Bai Li Fei De watch specialty store. What is the most expensive one? Su Yan asked a simple and rude question when he came up, which stunned the store staff. However, the salesperson quickly realized and quickly took out the most expensive Patek Philippe watch from their store. Is it only 5.22 million? Su Yan's expression was very indifferent. Since it's already the most expensive, there's no other way, just let it be. The shop assistant was unsure of what to say at this moment. Although she saw that Su Yan was dressed in mediocre clothes and didn't have any valuable items, she took the most expensive watch in their store, worth 5.22 million yuan, without any emotional fluctuations. Such a stark contrast has dealt a severe blow to her worldview for the first time. After finishing his entire outfit, Su Yan also ordered a cool supercomputer worth over 1 million yuan online through Xiaohe. How can it be said that Su Yan is also a researcher? How can he justify not having a good computer? He has also started to search for information about foreign, black businessmen on the global internet through Xiaohe. Black merchants are merchants who specialize in selling internationally prohibited materials, equipment, and various prohibited items. These people are the most headache-inducing and rampant criminals for Interpol. As long as you can pay enough money, you can almost buy everything you never expected from black merchants. Such as human life, waste residue from a research project in a certain country, or confidential information about a project being developed by the weapons department of a certain country. This kind of thing that ordinary people cannot do, but black merchants can miraculously do it. Next technology, PIM particles. Not the serum of the Hulk, nor the Iron Man suit, Su Yan's second choice was the PIM particle, hailed as the most mysterious and hidden bug in the Marvel Universe. Perhaps in the general understanding, the only function of the pygmy particle is to use it to grow and shrink. But in Su Yan's eyes, pygmy particles are one of the technologies that can reach the top of the universe. Even more impressive than Iron Man's iron battle suit. Even in the Marvel Universe, Su Yan used PIM particles to achieve something that even Dr. Pym was shocked by. However, the cost of capital and research and development equipment required to construct PIM particles cannot be reduced. Little Black, please pay more attention to the information of black merchants in this area. Once they appear, let me know immediately. Su Yan instructed. Yes, sir. Just like this, several days passed by in a flash. In these past few days, Su Yan has been flirting everywhere. No matter how happy he is, he doesn't mind spending other people's money anyway. What private custom clubs, the most luxurious bars and nightclubs, and the pleasures that only upper-class people can enjoy. And so on, Su Yan almost experienced everything. There's no way, money. And after returning to the mortal state, Su Yan clearly realized that his desire for the mortal world had also become stronger. Perhaps due to the weakening of his power, his original divine thinking had all returned to human thinking, more inclined towards comfort and enjoyment. Sir, your car is about to arrive. You can go downstairs now and prepare to sign for it. At this moment, Xiao Hei's voice came.